project commenced, we had so little to go on. There were no blueprints, no engineering drawings. We had just a couple of photographs, an advertisement and an article, and that's all we had to go with. So for the engineers, creating a motor bicycle that was 120 years old in effect was quite a challenge.
So after the challenge had come out from Gordon, it was a great opportunity to go back in time, go back in history and actually understand Royal Enfield's DNA.
Well, it was certainly a daunting task that we were given. Usually the process we take is to go and look at other similar motorcycles, or if you're making a reproduction, ideally go and measure the original. But in this case, there was none.
This frame, we're trying to replicate something, so it involves a different approach to it. If we were building this bike from scratch, we'd just simply make it. We wouldn't be copying anything. We'd make it how we wanted to. But the real difficulty here is trying to replicate and honour the craftsmanship that went into the original bike.
When we started, we thought we understood what we needed to do, but of course our engineers are used to modern techniques, current day engineering. And what we found we needed was to get into the mindset of those pioneers of 1901.
The only way you can make a tank like this is with the 100-year-old soldering irons. I was left with these tools, this tank, and then I had to learn the technique for soldering the seams. It's the only way to work on these bikes. You can't use modern production methods. They thought at 60 miles an hour you might not breathe and you might die. It was rocket science of the day.
So after months and months of work, we finally got it together. But the big question is, will it run and will it ride well? Because it's one thing to bench test an engine and know that it will tick over, but to actually run as part of a complete motorcycle or motor bicycle is a big unknown. Project's taken us right back to the very origin of Royal Enfield. 120 years, that DNA is being carried forward, and you can see it there, and you can see what it means to us, and you can see what it means to our riders. 120 years of pure motorcycling. It's important on many levels, but it's important for the engineers at the UK and Indian technical centres and for the team at Harris to be able to do something that connects back with this really important heritage that Royal Enfield has. And I hope that if they're looking down on us, those gentlemen, engineers and designers of 120 years ago, and see what we've now achieved today, I hope they're really proud. In order to know where you're going, you've got to know where you've come from, and that is Project Origin.
The Flying Flea, a motorcycle that could be airdropped by parachute behind enemy lines. Once it landed, all a paratrooper had to do was unscrew the single wing nut, lift the bike out, rotate the handlebars 90 degrees, kickstart and go. The Flying Flea, a soldier on two wheels in the Second World War.
Greg Staves was 45 and dying from cancer when he decided to embark upon a journey. A life-defining trip that was 22,000 miles long. riding the length of the Americas from the Arctic Circle to the Antarctic, on his own on a 500cc Royal Enfield Bullet. On the summer solstice, Greg collected water from the Arctic Circle. He had exactly 6 months till the southern summer solstice to complete his trip. The roads were dirt, the winds sharp, the prospect daunting. But places usually found on postcards were suddenly real, where nature's beauty blinded you, where the road blazed through red sand circling around towering spires, where every picture was worth 100,000 words. Strangers became friends along the way. One gave him the nickname that's now legend, Iron Ass. Greg Iron Ass Staves. As he battled his way towards South America, both man and machine were pushed to their limits. Twice, torrential rains threw him off his bike. Battery failure in the high Andes killed his headlight. In the darkness, Greg drove straight off a hairpin turn. He survived. Loose gravel forced him off the steep road more than once. And at a civil riot in Santiago, Greg was caught amidst tear gas and water cannons. Patagonian roads were nothing but dirt and dust and skin-peeling winds. The only way Greg could protect his nose was duct tape. But for every adversity, there was breathtaking beauty to match. Greg's Royal Enfield 500 Bullet parted seas of llama across the Altiplano. The Atacama Desert, in his own words, was like riding through a stretch of Mars on Earth. 22,000 miles later, Greg reached the world's southernmost city. With his goal in sight, Greg jumped ship from his Royal Enfield with just the front wheel, and finally reached Antarctica. Exactly 6 months from the day he started, Greg collected water from the Antarctic Circle. That was it. The quest was fulfilled.
With a piece in my hand and bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. Oh, down the river where the kids can't find a red-handed sinner. Oh, where the grave can't cry out, 'cause I done wrong. Down the river where the hills can't find.
A ride through Alaska with complete strangers? We had no idea what to expect. Awkward silence, different personalities, not to mention the beautiful yet unforgiving weather and terrain of Alaska.
First time on anything technical like that.
That was the best save of the trip right there. It's what the bike's supposed to do. There's the glacier.
Never apart, we only grew closer together. We witnessed unspoiled beauty that can only be appreciated firsthand. We created a bond I never thought possible. And we did it all on 2 wheels.
Hey, babe. Yep, La Jolla Cove. See you in a little bit.
It's a magical sort of cathedral of motorsport, isn't it? You know, everyone wants to come to Bonneville.
Bonneville doesn't care if you're male or female, young or old. It's all the same salt. It's all the same record book.
I love surpassing people's expectations. They look at me and think, oh, you're just an 18-year-old little girl. What could you do? I don't even have to tell them. You just go out and show them on the bike.
Track is clear. Launch when ready.
It's pretty fun to break these old men's hearts and take their records.
I knew from a little girl she was different.
Creativity is a huge part of my life. It's very important to me.
Kayla is a very passionate person, whether it's art or photography or racing.
Kayla and I have gone to Bonneville since she was